great. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Happy to
You,
see you today.
it's good. I hope you are not nervous for something because you told me it's your first time going live here on
I'm
Instagram.
good. Yes. The
Yeah,
first time, I've never done that before. Right. So I'm a bit nervous, like
it's
sweaty
going to be,
palms, like.
yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm sure of that. And guys, Kate, when I first, I think I discovered your account first time on TikTok. Did you start on TikTok the first time and
Yeah.
then move to Instagram, I guess?
Yeah, like the majority of my followers, yeah, subscribers do that because actually TikTok is the first thing which I started, right? The first like social media, social net, and then I continued on Instagram because I realized that some of my followers, like students, they want to know a bit more about me, and then I had to post stories, like telling something about myself. So yeah, first of all, maybe you found me on TikTok, right? And
Yeah,
then
sure.
on
I
Instagram.
discovered your account on TikTok and then I found you on Instagram. And it's really amazing because I had
Oh,
invited
thank you.
other teachers from Russia and from
Yeah.
other countries all over the world. And each time I invite someone, it's a new experience. It's a new things. We get tips and the great things. But what I liked about you,
Right.
Kate, is that you told me that you learned English. I would like first to let you introduce yourself in some brief words. Who is Kate? Like
Oh,
in brief, yeah.
that's
And
a
then we
very
move to the
difficult
questions.
question.
I can
Well,
help
I'm
you.
Kate.
Yeah. Name, of
Right,
course,
yeah,
is
you can
Kate.
ask me questions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, my name is Kate. Nice to meet you, everyone. I am just an ordinary girl from Russia, and I got really inspired by all the teachers I had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I decided to become an English teacher. I'm
Mm-hmm.
26. So
Amazing.
young.
Yeah.
Right, yes. And now I live in Bali. I moved to Bali like more than a year ago. Yes, and it was like, my dream to travel around the world. And I decided to move to Bali after my
Bali in
trip to
Indonesia, right?
Turkey.
In Indonesia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, in
Amazing.
Indonesia,
Some people
right.
don't know
It's just
Bali,
a
that's why.
paradise. Oh, right, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, in Indonesia, right? And it's a real paradise. Just for me, it's really
Yeah.
important to live in a place where it's sunny, where it's warm, and near the ocean or maybe near the sea, because in Russia it's cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for example, this year is very cold in Russia. They don't even have spring, and I don't think that they're going to have summer.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So, Kate, when did
yeah.
you start learning English? Of course, you were born and
Um,
raised in Russia. Um,
yes, right.
when did you start?
Um, I started learning when I was maybe 10 or 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and it was my fifth grade. I know maybe you have the same educational system as we do in Russia, but I was about, yeah, 10 or 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and it was my first experience. My mother told me that I had to learn English because it would broaden all the horizons, right? It would give me all the opportunities I need. Well, actually, she was right,
Yeah.
and I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, a
Yeah.
question?
So you look like passionate with the English language. Like, did
Right,
learning
yes,
English add something to your
absolutely.
life? Did it make it amazing?
Yes,
Does it make your
right,
life great?
everything. Yes, absolutely. Everything I have, it's all thanks to English. So the
Amazing.
place where I live, right, the people I communicate with, right, every day, that's all thanks to English. All the opportunities I have now, like, the blog, right, talking to the people and meeting new people, that's all English. Traveling, that's English. So everything I have is thanks to English. But definitely I had some, like, I was demotivated on my
Mm-hmm.
English journey, and well, yes, I started, right, as it said before, learning English when I was 12, right, or 10, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really motivated.
You
I
see,
was born
it's like
in a
you
very,
stopped and then you restarted again. That's it.
yeah, I want to
Mm-hmm.
tell you the story, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so that you would understand better, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
as I was born in Russia, I was born in a very, very small town. It's like a village, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the population is about 60,000 people. So,
Yeah.
a
So it's a
really small
small
town.
village.
Right. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
even the village, yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that. And we had just maybe a couple of teachers, or maybe just a handful of teachers who taught English. And the approach they taught was grammatical approach.
Yeah.
So I had this one
Traditional.
book. We didn't have,
Yeah.
yes, right. We didn't have internet at that time. I didn't even know that there were some maybe Cambridge or Oxford textbooks, right, or student book. I just had my Russian grammar book. And it had like, 1,000 grammar exercises, and that's it. So during my maybe 2 or 3 following years, I had to cover, right? I had to work with this grammar book. And then I got really demotivated, right? So child, right? Just a small kid. Definitely I wanted to play, right? Maybe I wanted to learn some new vocabulary. I really wanted this interaction, but everything that I had to do was just doing the exercises. And I
So it's
remember
like
at the
you
time, I
hated
didn't
English,
even-
no? You didn't hate it, right? You just hated the
Yes,
way they teach
yes.
you English. That's it. So.
But when I was about 15 years old, I started to hate English, really.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
so demotivated, right? And I was a very bad student. I didn't do my homework, and I even, oh my goodness, sorry, but I did cancel classes without, telling the teacher, right? Yes, just I hated both the approach, the English language, and then my mother insisted on me, on continuing to learn the language. And I'm really grateful to her for that, because if she hadn't done that, I can't even imagine what I would have, where I would have been, right? What I would have done, just no idea.
Yeah.
And when I finished my school, well, obviously, I had to pass my exams, right? My school exams, final school exams. And I was a kind of consistent, right? When my mother told me that I had to do that. And I finished my school with intermediate level or something like that. And then I had to enter the university. And I got really motivated when I entered the university. Yeah, because I moved to Moscow. And
Yeah, what did you
it's
study at the
the
university?
capital, right?
What did you major in at the
Linguistics.
university?
Linguistics.
Yeah,
Right, I
Russian
graduated
linguistics
with,
or English linguistics?
English,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I remember. Yeah,
Good.
right. But I fell in love with teaching. So when I entered the university, I did want to be an interpreter, right? Or a freelancer translator. But then I got really inspired by teachers, well, professors, right? If we talk about the university,
Yeah, sure.
who were native speakers. At the age of 20, I met my first native speaker, and he was from Ireland. And well, this was my first experience, and I do remember that my sweaty palms, I thought that that person was just, unreal. I had never met native speakers before, and it was the first experience. And I realized that, well, actually all the dreams that you have, they would come true, definitely. And my dream at that time was to just to chat with a native speaker, because again, Russia is the country where you cannot just go outside and chat to someone in English. You cannot practice English with anyone, because the only language people speak in Russia is Russian. And unfortunately, not many Russian people know English, right? If we talk about small towns, right? Well, even if we talk about Moscow, not many
Even
people
now,
know
things have
English.
changed now?
Yes.
Even now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, even now, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe people are not really motivated. Maybe they just don't need it. They don't believe in traveling and know the world or something like that. But no, not many people. Even my sister, I have a sister, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't know English, even for traveling purposes. No.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's not interested.
No, absolutely. And well, I think maybe I have a couple of friends who know English at maybe intermediate or pre-intermediate level, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Just.
Yes, I wanted to finish with the with the conclusion, right? That I did learn English on my own, and it was just like one book. And then when I entered the university, naturally, I had some more books, but I didn't have internet. I didn't have some experience in different approaches, right? And I did everything on my own, and I realized how people nowadays are lucky because they have so many sources. They have the internet. Oh my goodness, they have TikTok, and they have access to different approaches, and they have access to different teachers, right? So if you don't like this teacher, maybe, well, he or she doesn't fit you, right? You can try another one. Why not?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
that's my story.
So it's
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I can see when you were talking about your experience, I linked it to a lot of experiences that really look the same as yours.
Right.
People, they get demotivated at a time because of the educational system, because it is only consistent of some old traditional methods that they use to teach, especially kids. You know, when we are kids, if we're taught in a wrong way, absolutely, we're not going to love the language, and we're going to end up hating it, as your case.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes.
And when did you move to Bali?
It was a year ago, more than a year ago, maybe like
Good.
a year and 3 or 4 months. Right. It was a spontaneous decision. I remember, well, my boyfriend and I went to Turkey, and we fell in love with that country, and we decided that we definitely should live in a place near the sea where it's always warm, because I remember that time was really harsh for both of us. We had a lot on our plate, and we were just overloaded with everything. And we decided to move to Bali because actually our friend lived there. So we just decided to move there. Yeah.
Amazing.
And
You're teaching there now
yeah.
in Malaysia. You're teaching.
Well, I teach only Russian students online because, well, as I'm a Russian teacher, and I did have some experience teaching foreign students, but my schedule is full, so with Russian students.
Yeah, so now you're just teaching online. You're not teaching offline, like real classes.
Yeah, just online. Right.
Good.
Yes.
Amazing. And it's a really great path to choose to be a teacher, especially online. Like, when did you start? Did you start before you moved to Bali, or after you moved to Bali?
Yes.
When did you start teaching online?
Yes, it was before I moved to Bali, and I remember all this stuff with the virus, and at that time I got really frustrated with the fact that I wouldn't be able to have my students rate at my place, and I did have to go to their place. And well, I came up with an idea to give classes online, and each and every of my students agreed. And now, well, when the virus ended, and well, this this stuff, they didn't want to get back to our traditional way of learning, and well, we just continued working online, and that's it. Everyone is happy.
Yeah, it happens. Like people now, a lot of people have moved to online stuffs. Yeah, they prefer now online more because online you can study whenever you want, on remote, wherever you want, and it doesn't cost you like transportation or other things. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
So okay, it's like more people now, they want to learn English, and I don't know about Russia. You told me that not a lot of people learn the language, learn English.
Unfortunately.
But I think that now in the world, haven't you noticed that things has changed a little bit? Because when you were talking about this, I asked you even now, because I feel like in my country and also in other countries, things has started to change. More people wants to learn English due to globalization, and more people are traveling now, more people are using the internet. Do you feel this like in Russia?
Yeah, absolutely, yes, true. Again, we have like some people who are not interested in languages at all, right?
Yeah.
And if we talk about English itself, right? But still, with globalization, right, with new technologies, a lot of people learn English. And not only English, right? German is also popular. German and Spanish, I'd say.
Spanish, and, French as well.
And French. Yeah, so when I entered the university, the second language I had to choose was German. And I remember my friend chose French. Yeah, so we did study. Yeah. But again, we didn't have much practice, so my German, I think it's somewhere at the beginner level, but when I graduated from the university, it was like B2. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
And
Yeah,
yeah, talking about the changes, in Russia, we have like, such programs which are aimed at motivating kids, right, and teenagers, well, students, motivating of learning languages, like English, right, predominantly. But still, it's all about the system, because
yeah,
our school system, educational system, and the books, they're really boring, and the
yeah,
classes are big, like, 30 students or maybe 20
yeah.
students per class,
Or more
per
even. In
group.
other countries, it's more. In my country, it's more.
Yeah,
More than 30.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Oh my God, really?
yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
more than 30 in my country.
yeah.
Even sometimes 30, sometimes more. In some schools, it can go up to 43, 45. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, we're speaking about like conditions to learn the language, and I think one of the perfect ways and one of the amazing ways is teaching online, because I see that you can teach like 3 students, 4 students, or 5 in a group, teach them
Yeah,
speaking, teach them some other skills as well, and it works perfectly. Um,
yeah,
Maybe some people haven't are not really convinced about studying online, and that's totally okay because we need some time to get used to it. But
right.
with the COVID
Yeah,
situation, with the virus, people stayed home for a long time, so we thought again about this, and a lot of people now are convinced,
yeah.
and more people wants to study online.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, absolutely true. And all the students I have now, they want to have classes online because they realize it's really convenient. They don't have to like, waste or spend time
yeah,
on the road, right? 'Cause if we talk about Moscow, well, and maybe about some even small towns, you have to spend about 20 minutes, right? And if we talk about Moscow, maybe even an hour just to get to the place.
yeah.
So online is really convenient. Yeah,
Yeah, so that,
that's
that
the
that's
way.
a good thing actually. One of the comments
Yeah,
I skipped actually. Someone
yeah,
is saying like
all right.
about your accent. He liked your accent. He said you're Russian and you have a really
Oh,
amazing
thank
British
you.
accent. Yeah.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you
but I
did you
think that
think about choosing one specific accent? Choose the British
um,
over the American, or it just came like this?
I don't remember when I had my accent, but I think that yeah, I was really impressed with British accent. And I think I have a kind of mixed accent now because I have my private classes with an American teacher,
Yeah, but I think
and
it's more British. It's a bit
yeah,
more
yeah,
British
more
than
British.
American. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because when I studied at the university, we had like our phonetics classes, and we were taught British pronunciation. And I fell in love with our professor's pronunciation, and I did really work hard to get it. And after the university, I went, it was about 2 or maybe 3 week language courses in London. It was my dream. And at
Hmm.
that time, I did have my British accent. But accent is something that you have to practice all the time, right? Like
Yeah.
every time,
Yeah.
every day, you have to practice, right? And yeah, I did choose British because I fell in love with it. And then I had like, I wanted to switch into American accent because I don't know why, but I met just a lot of people who were like Canadians or maybe Americans, right? And
Yeah.
their accent is a bit different. So it's more to American, this R, like, but I don't like the way butter sounds like butter. No,
Yeah,
not for
sounds
me,
like
definitely.
butter or
Butter, right?
butter.
Or
It's
water,
sometimes
yeah.
butter. It's sometimes butter. It's sometimes butter.
Yes,
So yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah, right.
still, like, I have a question that I get
Yeah.
most of the time is that people are asking, what's the difference between British and American? But I think that this question is exaggerated a little bit, and even the differences are exaggerated. Don't you think so?
Yes,
Because
yes,
it's English after
right.
all. Yeah.
Absolutely true. When I have my like new students, right, or maybe new subscribers, new followers, they ask, "Do you teach British or American English?"
Yeah.
And I say, "I teach general English because we
English.
all
Yeah.
speak English, right?" I may have like, British accent. Some teachers, like, some people may have American accent, but if there is a difference, the difference is just maybe in a handful of words like I know what we have, wardrobe and closet, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
sweater and jumper. and that's
Yeah.
it. And you did say you're right that it's a bit over exaggerated. I do agree absolutely. So we speak English, right? It's not like British English or
Yeah.
American English. Maybe there are also some differences in slang, right? And if we talk
Yeah.
about British slang, this well, these are expressions that could be understood only within the UK, right?
Yeah.
But if we talk about American slang, that people all over the world understand American slang,
Yes.
but that's it. But we speak English, right? So
And
that's
even
it. Yeah.
inside, like
Oh my
inside,
God.
even inside the United States and inside Britain, there are a lot of accents.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
in
they're all
Britain,
mixed.
like in the north, it's not like in the south. Yeah, it's different.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you're as a learner, as a starter, especially as a beginner in learning the language, especially English, you don't have to worry too much about this. Just have to focus
No,
on, yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Yeah, you just have to focus on the sounds, right?
yeah,
And when again we had our phonetics course, I remember the best practice was shadowing, right? So when you have
yeah,
first to imitate the word, right, or maybe the sound, if we talk about a
mm,
long sound E, right? Then you have like the word tease, right? So you just have to find the
yeah,
person whose accent you like. Then you have to imitate first the sound, then the
yeah,
word, then maybe a collocation, right? Or maybe a phrase, and only after
yeah.
that, the whole sentence, right? That's it.
So have it like
Yeah.
shadowing is really important. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
copying what others
Absolutely.
are saying. And
Yeah.
copying, we mean
Yeah.
by copying not just saying the same word, but trying to copy the intonation, the stress as
Yes.
well, the sounds.
Right.
Of course, we say you
Yes.
try because sometimes even if you try to pronounce some sounds, you fail. Doesn't mean that you have to stop. Like keep practicing. And
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
some people.
Yeah.
I don't know if Russian people have a problem with the sound r. Is that right?
They
Because we
do.
hear that
They
Russians
do.
pronounce it r, I think, r, or
R.
yeah, r.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Russian.
it. Russian,
Right.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But
Yes.
I see
And
that
they
you don't
do
have
have.
this problem.
Yeah, but
Mm.
I remember because I even the teacher, right, who had this kind of grammatical approach, she taught me how to pronounce r, and I remember my first word was rose, and I
Rose.
don't remember that. Yeah, rose,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that Russian people do have like some challenges with the and the sounds. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but I think all over the
yes, right,
world,
because
not just in Russia.
right, yeah, and
Yeah,
they don't even want to, I know, maybe learn how to pronounce. They don't want to master these two sounds. And I think that one more thing they're challenging all the time is intonation. Because in Russian, we have a very flat intonation. And we usually talk like this. Hello, my name is Kate. I'm 26 years old. How are you doing today? But in English, intonation is completely different, right? So you have
yeah,
like falls and ups, right? Things like this.
yeah.
And intonation in Russian, yeah.
I think in
If you speak English,
all the languages we find this, even in my country, it's so difficult for some people to pronounce some sounds, and that's totally
yeah,
okay. Especially
yeah,
for Arabs, I guess, in the Middle East, they have difficulty pronouncing
right,
the sound p. So most of them would pronounce p as b. Yeah, this is a common problem for Middle
yeah,
East students,
yeah,
but still we find some exceptions. We find some great accents, and sometimes you feel like amazed with how some people speaks. You confuse them with native speakers. Speaking about the
right,
sounds, yeah, they're fluent.
yeah,
They're amazing.
yeah.
So there are some exceptions.
Right, and when I the first time I watched some of your videos, I thought that maybe you were in the UK because you also have this British accent.
Yeah, you
So
see,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, right, yeah. So
I know
I
the
thought
first
that
time I saw
maybe you were a
the
native
same thing
speaker.
when I saw your account the first time, I thought you're British. When I saw you on
Oh,
TikTok, yeah, yeah, I
right,
thought you're
yeah,
British, yeah, and that's totally normal because when we see people like there's no indication, there's nothing written on their faces like their nationality.
right,
Yeah, so we
yeah,
just guess. Yeah, I get
yeah.
some, a question that I ask all the
Okay,
teachers I invite in my lives, and it's a really common question. I think you hear it over and over again, which is, I am beginner. in the language. I don't know anything about English, and when I listen, I don't understand any word, and when I want to speak, I can't speak, of course, as a result. How should I start? What is the correct way to start? Like, from your experience, should I start with vocabulary, memorizing them? Should I start with listening? I should do a lot of listening every day. Should I start with writing the right words, try to memorize them? Do you think there is a way, or it depends on everyone's method?
I think it depends, first of all, on the person's aim, right? Because again, if you
Yeah.
have an aim, and if you're a beginner, and well, his aim is business English, or maybe just general English, or maybe just speaking, it all depends on the aim, first of all. But I think that the thing they have to focus on is the teacher. Because it's really difficult to start learning a language, right, a foreign language without a teacher.
So,
if there is an
Kate, you're saying that
opportunity,
we should pick up a
yeah.
teacher first thing
So
and then start learning.
yeah, if they
Yeah.
have an opportunity, they
Yeah.
should pick up a teacher, right? So if they have time, right, if they have an opportunity, definitely that should be a teacher. But if they don't, I think that a good idea would be to find a book, like a student's book, which a student likes. Because usually, a student book, right? It has some sections, it has some units, right? And they all start, the first unit starts with hello, how are you, right? Some basic things, right? And it's really easy to follow the student's book. So you don't have to, like, I know, doing more than you can, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to listen to a lot, right? Some podcasts or maybe audiobooks if you don't understand. There is no sense. You don't have to learn a lot of new vocabulary. You have just to start a unit in a book you like and implement the knowledge you already got into your like everyday life, right? Into the conversation. So if you don't understand, and if you cannot hear hello, how are you? You should definitely start with these basic things, right? And then maybe you have to do step by step. Numbers, colors, again, it all depends on you, right? Maybe you're interested in traveling, so you should start learning the names of different countries, right?
Yeah.
Then maybe you should learn some vocabulary, which you can implement into talking to receptionists, right, in a hotel.
Yeah.
So I think just step by step, some basic things which depend on your aim. And it's either a teacher who can help you or just a very good textbook. And that's it. I think that the easiest textbook for self-learning is
I was about to ask you this.
Yeah.
English file.
English file.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, English file.
Let me write it in the comments. English files
New
or English file?
Yeah, English file or new English file. I can text as well.
It is a textbook, like that teach you all things, like grammar, vocabulary,
right,
reading.
Grammar, vocabulary, reading, everything. And it's really easy to learn on your own if you have this book. Yeah, and there is also starter, beginner, elementary, right, all the levels. And
Amazing.
I think this would be one of the best books, right?
Yeah.
And they start like, the first unit is just greetings, right? So saying some things like nice to meet you. And then there are numbers, then articles and like, some adjectives, basic adjectives, big, small, right? Young, old. And I really like this textbook because at the end of the unit, you can practice your speaking. And there are also conversational practices. So very good book. I recommend.
It's good. I like this because the first time I hear someone saying like pick up a textbook, some people don't believe in textbooks. I hear this most often, but what if someone starts by himself without a teacher, picking a textbook, as you said? The problem is that we fail or we stop or we get demotivated because we are not all the time motivated to learn, to pick up the textbook.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, would you prefer a textbook and a teacher or just a textbook?
I definitely prefer a textbook and a teacher. Yeah, 100%. And I think that, some students should add some fun and teachers as well should add fun.
Yeah.
As you noticed, all the videos that I make, I create, they're like funny because I
Yeah.
do like funny atmosphere during the class, right? It shouldn't be like a circus, right? Or maybe a performance, but maybe some jokes, right? Something
Yes.
that you can discuss, something you can laugh at. And it was the thing which I lacked at my time when I was like, a student. And I think that students should add some fun as well. There are some anecdotes, and I think that for the beginners, they're good as well. They can
Yeah.
also read comics, right? Why not? TikTok, again, so there are so many talented teachers, right, on TikTok, or maybe
Yes.
Instagram as well, YouTube. And they can also maybe find some videos for beginners, right? There are lots of them, just millions and tons of them. And if they feel demotivated, maybe they should try something else, right? So maybe different approach. Maybe they can
Hmm.
find a partner. Maybe they can continue learning together, right?
Amazing.
Because I remember, at school, when I was a beginner or in elementary, we tried to talk to my friend and I tried to talk to each other, and that was like even mistakes. That was a perfect practice, right? Because it's all about implementing something that you've already learned, right,
Good.
into your everyday conversation. So maybe it would be a video, right? Again, of your level, because if you aim at something that is higher than maybe 2 steps, right, from your level, 100% the person would be demotivated. So it should be like a bit more harder, right,
Yeah.
where you are. And it's
Sure.
about everything, the same with sport, right? Yeah, so try something different. Watching a video, just reading an anecdote, maybe a comics, maybe trying to talk to the mirror, right, with
Yeah.
a question, okay,
I use
what
this
I have
method
learned.
personally. I
The
used it.
same, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, at
Also
school, at
recording, like
university.
talking to a mirror and recording
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
yes, right. Yeah. I also have some videos of myself when I was just talking to the camera, and that was a very good experience when I had to pass my IELTS exam. And at that time, I just couldn't practice my English again. It was maybe the first or the second year student, the first or the second year at the university, and still I didn't have any practice with native speakers, right? So I did have practice with Russian students who did talk in English, but the best practice I had was to talking to myself. To the
Yeah.
mirror and recording myself,
Because
right?
talking to yourself,
At
like
times,
you don't have stress. You don't get stressed. Like
yes,
there
yes,
isn't this
right,
barrier that they will
yeah,
judge me. They will.
right. Yeah, at times, maybe in the beginning, a person would feel like, oh my God, what I'm doing, right? Talking to
Yeah.
myself, I'm crazy.
Crazy.
But
Yeah.
then you just get used to it and you realize, oh yeah, I'm not stressed. Yeah, I can take my time to think over the topic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that
yeah,
sounds like people have to create a way. Textbook isn't enough, as I concluded from what you said.
yeah,
Textbook isn't
yeah,
enough because
right.
textbook doesn't talk, doesn't speak. But I like the idea of a textbook because a textbook is like something that can guide you. I mean,
Yeah,
as you said, in the beginning you can study adjectives related to human appearance, like tall,
yeah,
short, fat, something like this. And you can implement, as you said, you can use it in your everyday life. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe you've learned these vocabulary, these adjectives, go and use them with your sister, with your brother, with someone you know.
yeah,
Maybe just record a video of yourself talking about your appearance. Say, start with I am
yeah,
tall, I am short, and with time, I think these steps, what we call baby steps, small steps,
yeah,
you will grow and you
yeah.
will achieve great things.
Absolutely true.
Mm.
Yes, right. And there is also one more good method. You should comment on everything you are doing, right? For example, now, or everything that you do during the day. Like, okay, I wake up, it's 7 a.m., and I'm gonna make a coffee, right?
Good,
Okay, now I'm
good one.
brushing my teeth.
Like it.
Right. Oh, you
Hmm.
look good today, Kate. Yeah, like, okay, I see
Yeah,
a mirror. Yeah, there is also toothpaste, a tube of toothpaste.
yeah,
Okay, my coffee is ready. Right now, I'm gonna have my coffee, right?
yeah.
And while
This
drinking
shirt looks
coffee, you
great
can
on
also
me.
comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. True.
Hmm.
And it's a very good practice.
Yeah, and if you don't know something, you can Google it. there are ways, there are
Right.
a lot of ways you can get the information. You can know whatever you want to look for, like a vocabulary. I don't think you will
Yeah,
never be stuck in looking for the information. There are dictionaries, there
absolutely.
is Google, there's a lot of resources you can use, even ask teachers.
Yes.
They wouldn't
Right.
mind helping you. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking,
Because
Kate. Yeah, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
just going
I
back
would.
to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember the time when I learned English. I had a dictionary, and it was a book. It wasn't an app. I didn't have internet at that time. I didn't have
Yeah,
a computer, and I just had a book. Well, a dictionary, right? A paper dictionary with 20,000 words. And actually, at
big
times,
one
it
or a
wasn't
pocket.
enough. So just a pocket one.
Small. Yeah.
Right. Yes. But now when I also have some like, not troubles, but challenges with my students when they say, oh, I couldn't understand, I couldn't translate this word. And I think, really? Didn't you? Because they can just Google. And if you have Google, again, if you don't know the word, just open it, right? And
Yeah.
that's it and translate it. Yeah.
Now it's way easier. Like with the paper
Yeah.
dictionary, you go and look for
Yes.
the word. Maybe it's A, maybe it's B. You have to look at the back. Search. Now just
Right.
type. Even if you're not ready to
Yeah.
type, or if you're too lazy to type, you can just use vocal. Say the
Right.
word, and it's translated right
Yeah.
away. It's much easier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people now have any excuse not to learn any language.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
If only they don't have any desire, they would find the excuse. If only
Yes.
they are not just motivated.
That's the problem. I have some questions from that
Yeah.
I received on my story. Yeah, there is this question. Someone is saying how to develop pronunciation and speak fluently in English. I think these are two questions. He's speaking about
Yeah. Two
pronunciation.
questions, right?
Is there a practical way you used or you're using now with your students to improve their
Yeah.
pronunciation? Because that's a major problem.
Yeah. Yes, I'd say that the first thing you have to learn about pronunciation is that you are learning a different language, right? A foreign
Yes.
language. So some sounds are completely different from the language, right? Which is your first language. And you just have to get used to this idea that it's a completely different language. Then you have to learn pronunciation of some basic words, like, a cat, a dog, like one, two, right? So you have to open the dictionary and you have to repeat after the speaker, right? So after the this voiced word. Then
Yeah.
I've already said about shadowing,
Shadowing,
right?
yeah.
For this technique, yes, you should find a person whose accent you do like. I remember I liked Keira Knightley, and on YouTube I found some of her interviews, and I listened to the interviews first. I got really inspired with it, yes, and then after each and every word I paused and I tried to repeat after Kira. So it was like doctor, I pause and I repeat.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Doctor.
I repeat, maybe 10 or maybe again 15 times, right? Maybe 2 times. Then I repeat like a good doctor, right? I try
Yeah.
to imitate her intonation, her sound, well, everything. And after that, I paused after a sentence and just I repeated, like I imitated the sentence itself. There is also a book, I don't remember, like by Collins, pronunciation, Sheep or Sheep. There is a very good book, Sheep or Sheep. And
Sheep
it's like,
or
it can be
ship?
basic. Right,
Sheep.
yes.
Sheep, like sheep, animal?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
like
ship?
sheep or ship. Sheep
Yes.
or
Mhm.
ship, like with E and then with a
Oh,
short E
yes.
sound.
Sheep or ship, yeah. Amazing. This is a textbook,
Right.
like,
A textbook, right?
yeah.
It's a textbook. I don't know, maybe it's Cambridge or Oxford, something like that. But there is also a textbook for the beginners and for advanced students. So for the beginners, they talk about some basic sounds like long E sound, like short E sound. And then for advanced, it's more of intonation, like, I know, maybe some reductions, yeah? So
Amazing.
again, some phonetic stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So you can also try this book. And naturally, it's listening, because our listening is connected with the pronunciation. The more you
Yeah.
listen, the better your pronunciation is, right?
Yes.
Again, I remember when I was preparing for my IELTS, I had to listen a lot because I wanted to improve my pronunciation for speaking. And I was just listening to BBC podcasts, and
Hmm.
I was listening to London radio. Yeah, London radio. I don't. Yeah. It was that. Just the news, and that's it. And if you're really good at imitating, your pronunciation would improve just in a week time, 100%. And even if you're not really good at imitating, your pronunciation would improve in a week, 100%.
Yeah.
Just practice.
I guess that's
Yeah.
the first step. People have to listen. The first thing,
Yeah.
like listening should go
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
learning, like in general. BBC, it could be a movie, and what I
Yeah.
like and what I really advise my students to do is go and look for the things you love. Maybe you listen to BBC News, BBC Radio News, because you're interested in the news, but someone else may not be interested in this, like he hate the
Yeah.
news or hate listening to the news. So go and look for the things that you're passionate about. Look for something that you love.
Absolutely true.
You
Yeah.
love sports,
Yeah.
like listen to things related to sports. So link
Yeah.
what you love
Absolutely
to
true.
learning. This is going to work.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
going back to the question, so the first thing you should do in order to improve your pronunciation is trying to imitate the words from the Ways Dictionary, right? Even maybe you should check your cat, right? Maybe your cat is not a cat, baby, maybe cat. Like,
Yeah.
Russian cat, no inspiration. So you have to work on your inspiration as well, right? Put to cook, right? And what is also important about pronunciation is that you have to check each and every new word in the vocabulary. Like there are words like Q, right? They're
Yeah.
written a bit different, right? It's a French word, but still, right? Q-A-U-E, Q, right? Or maybe like some words, I know, maybe students may struggle with the words dirty, because in
Yeah.
Russia people may read dirty, right? So just
Yes.
checking each and every word in the dictionary and trying to repeat. That's it. And after that, get in this shadowing method.
Yeah, it's really important to check each time when you
Yeah,
speak or when you record something, or when you speak to the mirror. Don't say like, that's it, I'm good. Try to check each time your pronunciation. Like someone may
yeah,
pronounce some words wrong the first time. And
yes,
if you pronounce it the first time wrong, and if you learn it wrong in a wrong way, you'll keep pronouncing it for the rest of your life wrong. And that's the
yes,
problem.
yes,
So each time check dictionary, check for the correct
yeah.
pronunciation.
Yeah, I just came up with the word vegetables. A lot of Russian students read it as
Vegetable.
vegetables, but it's vegetable, right?
We in our country vegetable, because in my country we learn French when we're kids.
Yeah,
We learn French,
yeah,
and in French it's
right.
vegetable. It's vegetable, okay? And in English you copy it, like you say vegetable, and that's not right. It's vegetable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right.
comfortable as well. The word
Comfortable, yes, true.
yes.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
pronounce it
yeah, right.
comfortable.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
stress is also important. True.
So especially like when you're learning a language that is in my country we learn French. So when you learn French, most French words exist in the English language. A lot of words, like a big amount of words exist in the English language. So people pronounce it as they do in French, and that's caused the problems. Comfortable,
Yeah,
vegetable, like a lot of
yeah,
problems. And I think in Russian that Russian is written differently than
yes.
English, so
It's
there isn't this problem a lot.
Yeah, right. But I think that if we talk about Russian, the problem is with pronunciation. Because if we talk about a computer, people would probably pronounce it as computer, like that.
Oh,
So
yes.
quite Russian, yes, harsh Russian.
Okay, there is the problem that students face, apart
Hmm.
from learning the language, growing their vocabulary, having a rich vocabulary. maybe writing in a good way, but still the problem is with speaking. Someone is asking here, how can I practice English? He means speaking English alone without others, because I don't have friends to speak to. You mentioned the way of speaking to a mirror, recording yourself. Is there other things?
I think that it's an excuse that I don't have any friends speaking English, because there are a lot of different apps where you can find your study buddy, right? So I think that the app which I used was, I don't remember the name, but it was the platform, and actually there were people from different countries where they could practice, and they were eager to practice English, even the native speakers. I don't remember. Oh my goodness. Maybe after the live, I can text the platform which I used. Yeah,
yes.
It is okay. And I remember I also had a couple of apps, and I can add them as well. But if you want to improve your fluency, the first thing is just use your own, right? Use yourself. Talk to the mirror. Maybe you can even practice, well, there's crazy things, but maybe you can call to the hotels, right, to the receptionists, and chat with them. Again, if you're in the country where English is taught, maybe there are some speaking clubs, right? Again, with native speakers, or maybe with a teacher. Maybe you can ask your teacher, right, at school, maybe the university, just to practice speaking. Again, there are so many opportunities, and I think the best opportunity just to find your study buddy on an app, or maybe on an English learning platform. Yes. I will definitely send a couple of them after the live.
Yeah, there are lots. I think Hello Talk. There is Hello Talk is pretty famous. Right. Yeah, people use it for speaking, to practice speaking, like with even native speakers or other English learners. You can try it. Yeah. Right. There is this last question that I would like to end up our life with. Someone is asking, is learning grammar important? I mean, can I just learn it by watching movies, playing video games or something like this, and forget about grammar? Never learn grammar, and grammar will come, because when we learn our mother tongue, we never study grammar. But when we speak, we do respect plural, we do respect tenses. We use them correctly. So why not just listen, watch, practice speaking, and never study grammar?
Yeah. Jeez. So I don't like when people say I don't need grammar, because if we talk about language, right? Again, I really like metaphors. If we talk about our body, for example, what do we have to do to stay healthy? We have to eat healthy food, we have to drink water, we have to sleep 7 or 8 hours, we have to train. There is the question, will people be healthy if they don't drink water? No. Will they be healthy if they don't train? If they don't train? Well, maybe yes, but what kind of body they will have, right? Yeah. Will people be healthy if they don't eat healthy food? Obviously not. The same with the language. If you want to master your language, again, it doesn't matter what kind of aim you have, you do have to respect these rules. You have to pay attention to the vocabulary, you have to pay attention to the grammar, maybe basic grammar. I don't say that maybe all the people need gerund, right? Maybe, or conditionals. But if you travel, you definitely have to know present simple, present continuous, and future. Just pay your time and pay your attention to these basic things. No one says that you have to achieve your advanced or proficiency level in grammar, but you have to respect the language rules, and you have to learn some basic things. And after that, you can practice just watching videos, right? Maybe films and etc. But articles and some basic tenses, maybe comparisons, superlatives, you definitely should learn. So this is my answer. You do have to pay your attention to grammar, you do have to learn grammar, but maybe at the basics, right? If you don't need your English for CE or maybe a CPE exam.
Like some things that are really a bit advanced, like conditionals and things, you still have to learn them, because one day
Yes.
you'll need to use them. And if you use them in a wrong way, you'll confuse people who are listening to you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Right.
If you're speaking
Yes.
about the past and you're using the future instead, like, you'll confuse me as a
Yeah.
listener.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
You
True.
confuse me. So
Yes.
you need, like, you don't have any choice. And saying that learning grammar is useless, that's something not realistic. So at least
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
these people, they speak about the ways or the methods to learn grammar, because there are
Probably.
a lot of ways to learn grammar. Some people would go and study the rules and do exercises.
Oh yeah.
I don't prefer this
Yes.
this method because it doesn't
Me
serve the
neither.
purpose. What's the purpose? Purpose is
Yeah.
what you learn in grammar, you should apply it when you speak.
Yeah.
You will find
Yeah.
some students who can answer all the exercises related to tenses, right? But when it
they
comes
cannot use.
but they can't really
Yeah.
use them when they speak. That's really an issue. That's really a problem.
Right. Yes. Yes. True. So
Yeah.
grammar is important, as well as vocabulary, pronunciation, and each and everything in English.
Yeah. So, Kate, I really enjoyed talking to you in this
Me
live.
too.
It's been a very fruitful live with a lot of information
Absolutely true.
and things like tips that are really great you shared with us. And also your story is a great story that you
Thank
learned
you.
by yourself. You hated English and then you went back to it. And as you said, what I liked is that English changed your life. This is what I liked
Yes.
about your
Yeah.
story.
Right. Yeah, everything I have is just thanks to English. And if someone asks me whether they should learn English or not, definitely they should. Because
Yeah.
English is the way to, well, it's the key to your success, right? To your happiness, maybe to something that would definitely change your life. You never know who you're going to communicate, right, tomorrow. You never know where you will need your English. But English, you definitely need English everywhere.
You're a traveler. You traveled to many countries, right? Did you feel the use of English when you traveled?
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yes. So
You
everyone
can't
speaks
use
English.
Russian when you are when you travel, right?
No.
No one would understand.
No.
You
No
can't
one
use
understands.
you
No
can't
one.
use French. You can't use Spanish as well. Apart from some countries
Yeah.
that already speak
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
So English is
Yeah.
important because it's not about what I like to say. This is in general. When we say English, it's not about the country. It's not about USA. It's not about whether you hate or
Absolutely
you
true.
like. It's about the language. Because language, what is the
Yes.
purpose behind languages? Is that to make people communicate with each other. That's the
Right.
goal. So what is the language that is used all over the world? The answer is English. So go and learn
Yes.
it to serve this purpose of communication. That's
Yeah.
all.
100% true.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kate, for
It's just
this
some-
amazing live. Something
Thank
you would
so
like to
much
say
for
at the
this
end?
Yeah, just I wanted to add that we're all different, right? All our cultures, customs, traditions, but there is this
Yes.
one thing which unites us. It's English. And thanks to English, we can communicate, we can learn to respect each other,
Yes.
right? And that's amazing.
Yeah, and we love all the cultures, we love all the countries, no
Right.
matter how the differences that we have
Yes.
or that we may have. We don't hate people because they're coming from a place or because they speak a
Right.
certain language. We love everyone. That's what the world is for. Yeah, we love each other.
Yes.
And Kate, thank you so much. And guys, Kate is creating some
Thank you so
amazing
much.
content as well. We didn't have the time to speak about this. She's creating a great content in a funny way, some stories. So go and watch, follow her, watch her videos. And thank you, Kate. Any last words
Thank
you want to
so
say
much.
before we...
Yes. Yes, I would say just stay consistent and you'll achieve any goal. It doesn't matter whether it's your English goal or whether it's your life goal or maybe life dream. Just stay consistent and everything will be good. And you are really, you would be really successful if you learn English. You'd be really happy if you learn English because you have a tool which everyone uses and which you can use in your life.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Kate. And
Yes,
I
thank
hope
you
to
so
see
much.
you again
Thank you
in another
for
live.
inviting. Yes,
Sure.
absolutely
My pleasure.
true. Yeah.
Maybe this time
Thank
on your
you.
page.
Absolutely true. Yes.
Yeah, and this is a great experience. You started your first live. This is for the history.
My first-
Your first live with
Yes.
with me. Yes.
Yes.
Quick
Right.
English.
Yes.
I hope we can make another live. Maybe talk about something else.
Yeah.